So my next step in building my game is dice. I know that I said in a previous post that successes and failures in this game will usually be determined by students interacting with class content. If you want to fight a monster or sneak into a room, you have to correctly use a vocabulary word or answer a question about the book we've been reading. But dice can make games a lot of fun due to the element of unpredictability. So I want to incorporate them into my game somehow. If you're running a classroom RPG and you need lots of dice for your students, there are lots of different places to locate them. There are lots of places who sell large bags of assorted dice. The place where I see these most often is actually Barnes and Noble, but you can easily order a pound of dice or a couple pounds of dice from an online seller. Also, most game stores sell dice, and many of them have loose dice bins where you can get the exact dice you want and you pay like 10, 20 cents per dice. This is really good if you need specific dice, like if you, oh, I'm out of D12s. Uh, but a really cool resource for teachers to get dice, and I want to make sure you know about this, is Tabletop Loot. Tabletop Loot is a dice company. It's where I get most of my dice for playing RPGs, but they have this really cool program called the Gift of Knowledge that is for getting dice to students. So when you're purchasing dice from them, you can add the Gift of Knowledge to your cart. It's $5, and that helps them pay for the dice that they donate. I do this almost every time I order dice from them. But if you're a teacher, you can go to their website and fill out an application and say, I'm running an RPG campaign with students. I would like some dice donated. And if possible, they try to get you the dice sets that you need. This is specifically for teachers and schools. And I love it because teachers are always looking for ways to save money, and dice are kind of a weird purchase that schools might look at weird and not really approve of. Um, Having said all that, I didn't actually get my dice from Tabletop Loot, mostly because I forgot, but I will definitely be applying to them for dice if I continue to do this in the future. I had most of my dice donated to me by a friend who just didn't need them anymore, but I also ordered a bag of assorted dice from Wiz Dice, which turned out not to be a bag of loose dice, but 15 complete sets, each individually packaged, which I then unpackaged and separated out, and it broke my heart just a little bit. But that brings me to how I'm incorporating dice into my classroom. At the beginning of the year, all my students are going to start with a D4, and they'll use this for any dice rolling that happens in the game. So this might be how much damage you do to a monster that you're fighting, or how much how much you heal after a day in the infirmary or something like that. But as the story goes on, the students will be able to upgrade their characters by buying bigger numbered dice, like buying a bigger weapon. So now you get a D6 or a D8. And I have separated out all of my dice by type to make this easier. So when a student is like, oh, I'm going to purchase my upgrade, then I can just get that bag of whatever dice I need. And my favorites are the D4s because they're small and they tessellate, so this bag has more than 30 dice in it. For my currency, I have a whole bunch of buttons that I painted gold to make them shiny and harder to copy. I did this because I got a bag of assorted buttons to make markers for the map, so I had a whole bunch of little ones anyway. If you have a class currency system, use whatever system works for you. At the beginning of the year, my students will also get a coin purse to keep their dice and their currency in. And I made all of these from leftover fabric, and it didn't take me very long because coin purses are pretty quick to make. But if you don't like sewing, you can always get some little baggies or envelopes, or tell students to keep their dice in their pencil box. But my idea is that at the end of the year, each student will have a dice pouch and a full set of dice. And hopefully I can work on building a new generation of gamers. So that is my next step in the classroom RPG, and I'll be getting to you soon about character sheets.